Hmm. Okay. My baby is going in. Okay. Can you hear me? Hold on. I'm trying to see if you can hear me. Okay. You know, I noticed when you tilt your phone a certain way, sometimes you cannot hear and stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, you can hear me all right. Okay. So let's get back into embellishments and whatnot, because it's important. All right. So like I said, when you do not acknowledge what is wrong, it does not trigger any self-awareness. The problem will always be you when you disappear for no reason. Okay? The craziest thing happened though. When I went outside, that kid I said I was talking about, he was out there. Now check this out. He's telling me a story. It's literally impossible, but a 7-year-old wouldn't know that. They just trying to sound cool, honey. Do you know what Aaron said to him? Bro, you telling another one of your jokes? You're not serious right now. That's how he's talking to his friend. He's letting his friend know, nigga, I don't believe you. You have to tell them. So it's funny because I get off the thing, I get off the video. I told you there was a kid doing that shit. I talk to my daughter. I go out there, and it happens right in front of me. Okay? I can't make it up. Okay? It's very important. You gotta tell these people what's up. You can't just you know, you may think that someone knows what they did to you. You know what I'm saying? Like when you start ghosting people, you really think that they know. Especially in these situations like within the tarot where all these people are ganging up on one person and they should know. Do any of you think that you might want to let me know that there was why didn't you come to me and tell me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. But in the same, and so then when I'm sitting here and everybody's like, you know what you did? You know what you did? It's like, no, I don't. Because somebody was impersonating me, right? It's the same thing for any other type of offense. Any other type of offense, okay? Somebody's lying, someone's embellishing, you're getting different stories. But again, you really shouldn't know that there's different stories because you shouldn't be gossiping. But that's a whole nother level of it in itself. You know, you're the one causing these issues because it's emotionally immature to be gossiping in the first place. So you like have this idea that you should be what's the word, like, let me teach them a lesson and separate myself from them because I caught them in a lie while I was gossiping. Oh God, oh, yeah. God. I'm sorry. This shit is just... Show me the logic. Show me the logic. There ain't none. You know, I apologize for calling that lady stupid or dumb or whatever I called her, but it's just that simple. So when somebody who's like that, this is a 7-year-old, right? When people are like that their entire life, you know, it's kind of funny because people accuse my maternal grandmother of being that way, and she is, you know, and I'm adopted, so this is my adopted maternal grandmother, right? She embellishes. She does that quite a bit. But I also happen to know her background and the level of emotional neglect. Emotional neglect, and I may be sounding redundant, but sometimes it's important because y'all seem to need more than one way to hear this. The problem is rooted in emotional neglect, so emotional neglect would never be able to be the solution. You know what I'm saying? He's 7. Imagine him growing up to be 35. Imagine him growing up to be fucking 83. Now, she's not really emotionally neglected in the sense that, like, she has her family around her and stuff, but nobody's really confronted her in a way that had any consequences, right? Like, listen, hey, if the entire family would have just been like, hey, listen, grandma, we're not about to fuck with you anymore because you're always embellishing and we've caught you. You know, I'll give you an example. I gave her a purse for her birthday. The purse was cheap as fuck. The purse was bought at like Just Fab or Shoe Dazzle or something. It's $39.95, okay? But she tried to tell people that it was hundreds of dollars. Then not only that, she tried to tell people I told her that, which is really interesting because it was my personal purse. I literally like took it off my arm and gave it to her for her birthday because she kept, oh, that is such a nice, it was a nice color. I haven't seen a purse that color in a long time. It was a nice color. She just kept going on and on about it. It just so happened to be her birthday. I gave it to her, but I paid $39.95 for it. Then here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. When she said it, people started calling me and asking me how much the purse cost, but they already knew because I had it for like a month already. They had already seen it. They already knew. But the thing is, everybody has always known her to be an embellisher. Everybody has always known her to not be truthful. She does suffer from being a hypochondriac, okay? But you questioned and doubted me? She's been an embellisher her whole life. Everybody knows it. But y'all decide to call and question me. But you didn't confront her. And you know, like, it's just so, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. So she's been able to go on for 90 years doing this shit because nobody wants to be like, yo, hey, you gotta stop with that lying. Or I'm not coming around. I'm not lying. I have no reason to lie. I'm not lying. Then you leave, but nobody else has those it's kind of hard to do. I'm gonna admit, it is kind of hard. It is kind of hard to do and achieve if everybody's on different levels of self-respect, right? If you don't have a problem with somebody lying to you, well then, as long as you stay around, they'll never learn. You know? But you can't just, I think what the most important thing here is, you can't just leave without saying nothing. I think that is what I'm trying to get at. You cannot just assume without speaking. I said it already. You can't like perceive someone else's reality without just from looking in. You have to be able to question and speak with them. Because you may find out something else. Okay? You can't just leave without making them aware that you have been offended, because most of these people do this. They don't do it to offend you, okay? They do it for themselves. They aren't thinking about you, and if they're offending you, and if you're going on and on about it, and you don't really let them know that you don't care. Excuse me, you don't let them know that you care. You don't let them know that it affects you emotionally. You don't let them know any of this stuff. They have no idea that they're offending. Okay? Like, they're outside right now. Old boy keeps telling my son some stories. My son is clearly offended. The other boy doesn't know that. He just knows that he sounds really cool, and that I said, oh my God, I'm sorry that happened to you. See, he's 7, and he's not my child. So to accuse him of lying or anything like that isn't really what's best for him right now. But what you can do is I can teach Aaron how to effectively communicate that to him without offending him. Okay? And we try to help him to become more truthful. Okay? So I hope all that made sense, because I am kind of, since I'm cooking and I was playing my game earlier, I'm kind of not really involved in this, but I was moved to say this because I do understand that there are different sides to the spectrum. There's a spectrum to every single thing. But the problem is that 1, we lump everybody into the same category. 2, we have unrealistic expectations for everyone. And 3, we don't do anything emotionally mature to resolve the situation or the suspicions. So I'm hoping that this provides you with some type of insight or like an idea of what you could do if you think that you're experiencing something like this with someone, you know? So this wasn't the message that I have planned for you. I still have a little more, you know, for some of these it's just, you know, whatever. But I've been guided, and it's really wild when this shit happens to me, where it's like, you know, I just put something in. I just put something in the search bar, and then something comes up, and it's like, really? Okay. You know, it's also, I just want to add to, like, I think if you think that, like, being intuitive means, like, never looking anything up, never researching anything, like, part of that is, like, kind of silly to ever think that. Yeah, I do a lot of studying, I do a lot of research, but sometimes that's because they tell me where to look. Like, they tell me where to look, I find the information that's necessary for a lesson, but sometimes it just comes from, you know, already known knowledge. But, like, yeah, I looked something up, I said something, and something came up, and so now I'm looking into that, all right? And I'm not done. But, you know, I've shown plenty of other things where, you know, it wasn't about, I mean, how I get the brandy wine. I don't know. You know? Yeah, so you guys have a good evening.